Hello everyone, Clack of the Geek here, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, if you remember a bit ago, I did a video on the best Doctor Who cliffhangers, looking at some of my favourite moments from the end of episodes that always left people wanting to know what's going to happen next. And, there's so many other amazing cliffhangers in the show's history, but there's also been some pretty naff ones as well. And that's what I'm going to be looking at today, the top 5 worst cliffhangers in my personal opinion. Classic and modern, and once again, it's not in any particular order, it's just going to be in, episodic order, so oldest first, newest last. Got it? Let's go. So kicking off the list, we have the cliffhanger to The Chase, episode 1, from the William Horton lyrics. So the context of this scene, so the Doctor and the companions have landed on this desert planet called Iridius, where the Daleks are chasing them throughout time. And there's this massive sandstorm. They hide behind, one of the sand dunes, and up rises a Dalek. So technically, this is the first time a Dalek flies. Technically, kind of. It's this Dalek rising, but it's all ruined by, I don't know what prompted them to do this, but the Dalek coughs. The Dalek coughs when it emerges from the sand. It's just a really poor gag that ruins what could have been a great end to the episode. It's a bit like in the James Bond film The Man with the Golden Gun. You have that incredible car flip stunt ruined by a slide whistle sound effect. It's little things like that just completely ruin a scene, and that's the main bugbear that I have with The Chase. It's a very fun story, but the Daleks are just constantly being used as the butt of the jokes for comedy, and it really diminishes their menace, and I never want that with the Daleks. You can have a fun story with the Daleks, you can, as proven by a story that will be up here later on in the list, you can have a fun story, but the Daleks shouldn't be the butt of the joke, and that's my main bugbear with The Chase, and it is exemplified in this scene. Second on the list, probably a more obscure one, but one that is pretty poor, Spearhead from Space, episode 1. John Pertwee's first story as the Doctor, and one of the all-time great Doctor Who stories. It's an absolutely incredible story, but this cliffhanger is really poor. So, the context of this one, the Doctor, obviously, he's regenerated, landed on Earth, and he's in the hospital. He escapes, and he's being chased by some soldiers into the forest. Then one of the soldiers shoots. The other soldier says, "Who told you to fire, you stupid?" Credits. Again, they're trying to do this gag of, sort of censoring a swear word. He was going to say a swear word, but then the credits sort of censor it. Which, the way it's done here, it's a pretty poor gag. But the editing of the scene is really poor, because the gag isn't. So what happens is, the soldier says, "Who told you to fire, you stupid?" You'd think it then immediately cut to the credits, but it doesn't. It's a few seconds of silence where the Doctor falls to the floor, and then the credits. And it's just, the gag does not work at all now. So, yeah, just a poor, and again, another pretty poor attempt at comedy there. Okay, now we've got an infamous one. Number 3, we have Death to the Daleks, episode 3. A story which I very much enjoy, and like I was saying with The Chase, you can have a very fun Dalek story, as this proves. I find this a very fun, entertaining story, and the Daleks, they're not like the butt of the joke in this one. I think it's done better here. Anyway, this cliffhanger, though, is one for the ages. So, basically, the whole premise of this one is, technology is pretty much useless on this planet, Exelon, and, there's like, different booby traps around the planet, and the third Doctor, as well as one of the natives of the planet, Bellal, go into the city, where there's different booby traps, as I say. They're walking down the corridor. Pertwee then says, "Stop, don't move," and it is literally a static shot of a checkerboard. That is literally the shot they end the episode on. It could qualify as like a so bad it's good cliffhanger, but oh my god, is it just laughably bad. Now, it is revealed at the beginning of part 4 that this is an electric board. You step on it incorrectly, you get electrocuted. If they'd sort of shown maybe an electric bolt and then cut to the credits, it would have been a lot more effective, because you think, as the Doctor being electrocuted, what's going to happen? How are they going to get this one? But from how it's shot, pretty much how it's shot, yeah, and just how serious it is. It's just so bad, but it is kind of amusing. It's just, oh god, just terrible. At number 4 we have Destiny of the Daleks, the Tom Baker story. Oh god, this is easily the worst classic Dalek story. It's so poor, and the Daleks again are sort of the butt of the joke, but not in like a sort of tongue-in-cheek way like The Chase was. It was intentionally written as a comedy, but this one, it's just, they were trying to make it so serious, and the Daleks, they're just so abysmal in this, absolutely. And add to that a production that's coming apart at the seams does not help matters at all. So the premise of this one is the Doctor and Romana are on Skara, the Daleks' home world. They've been separated. Romana's exploring, and the Daleks burst through this wall, probably made of some kind of plastic, and the wall, the bits of the wall are hanging off them as well. And it's just, and then they corner Romana. They're shouting, "Do not move, do not move," over and over again. And these are some of the worst Dalek voices, by the way, so that doesn't help matters. And shouting "do not move" is not that threatening, like, at all. And I mean, Lala Ward is really trying to sell it, but even she can't save this scene. It's just, oh, poor. It's poor. Finally, a new series cliffhanger, because I couldn't just dog on the classic series all the time. I had to have something from New Who. I've picked Ascension to Cybermen, which maybe isn't the obvious choice, but yeah, this one doesn't do anything for me. So, for the most part, New Who cliffhangers are always great, because, they've got the budget so they can do better edits, and they can reshoot if needed, and they've got better effects. It's more the content of the cliffhanger that's the problem. And, I mean, oh god, this cliffhanger, right. So you've got Yaz, Graham, and some of the other side characters who we don't really care about. They're on the Cyberman ship, and all the cyber warriors have awoken. And I do like, the marching, kind of reminds me of Earthshock, which is always a good thing, and I like that. But there's some awful dialogue, like, they're right outside the door. Yes, we know that the Cybermen are right outside the door. It's just, I've really been noticing how bad some of Chibnall's dialogue can be. It's just show, don't tell. I've really noticed it as of late. And then the other part of the cliffhanger with the Doctor, Ryan, and some of the others at the boundary, the portal appears with Gallifrey, and then the Master pops out, which I thought was kind of predictable. Even then, I felt it was kind of predictable. I kind of did see it coming. And, the Master's like, be afraid because everything will change forever. And I guess this is kind of a cliffhanger that's gotten worse in hindsight, because of now we know about Timeless Child and how the Doctor just got over it like that. So it didn't really change a lot forever, did it? And it just really rings very hollow. And that's one of the worst feelings you can have with a cliffhanger, especially from New Who. It's got the budget, so the story should match it. Yeah, really rings hollow, this one. And that's my top 5. So there's a few others that I maybe could have mentioned. The Magician's Apprentice, that's one because of the predictable nature of it, and also The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, episode 1, which doesn't even have a cliffhanger. It just ends. The episode just ends. It's just. But that's really, there's not a lot else, because for the most part, Doctor Who always has good cliffhangers, and it's always a shame when, a cliffhanger isn't very good, and it could be for various reasons, whether it's budget, or ringing hollow, or, a poor gag, as we've seen here. So let me know in the comments below what are some of your least favourite cliffhangers. Be sure to like and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And this Clack of the Geek, signing out.